as soon as Meta allows you to do so.
What's up, man? How are you?
What's up, dude? That was fast. Zuckerberg is hearing me. I
He
promise you.
hears you.
He's getting better at this.
Dude, you guys on the West Coast get everything first, man. You guys get all the technology, the quick access to live. You guys get everything, man.
I didn't say it, but there's a rumor, West Coast, best coast.
I've heard that. It's not the first time I've heard that.
Yeah, man. Hey, dude, you look good. Thanks for joining me today.
Hey, back at you.
I
appreciate that, man. You know what's funny? You say that though. I'm actually getting over a cold, so excuse my voice here if it cuts out a little bit here and there. So
you sound like you, bro. You sound like you.
I appreciate that, man.
I was thinking today about how when you and I when we very first met, our very first meeting. I don't know if you remember this, but we were at the Irvine Marriott for a real estate conference.
Yes.
Back in 2013, maybe.
Sounds about right. Yeah. Yeah.
So it was you. It was Jason Waugh. It was myself. And I remember we got Buffalo Trace Old Fashions at the bar. And we held it down for a little bit, just kind of talking and getting to know each other, man. So
yeah, for a while, man. That was fun. Dude, that Marriott in Orange County there, man, they do it right. That was one of my favorite Marriotts I think I've been to, honestly. Like they do it right there. It's a good spot.
Yeah, it's a fun place. I'm glad that you remember that. And I know you come out to Orange County a lot. You got a brother who lives out here, right?
No. So we were out there because we met up a few times when we were out there. I think most recently before the world shut down with my assistant, we were at a Tom Ferry event. Remember that? And you took us all around downtown Los Angeles, which was my first time kind of exploring the actual downtown, which was awesome. But no family out there. Just fortunate to get out there a decent amount, especially back in the day.
I do remember that. Yeah.
Yeah. And you know what, dude? Check this out. Do you remember giving this to me? Look, I still have this.
Bro, no joke. I still have yours too.
No way.
Yeah, of course I have it. Boom. I can my son right here. Where's Kyle? Where's Kyle? I got it, man. Kyle's in here. Where is it? It's a big black book. Dude, it's in here somewhere.
If you don't, hey, I believe you, man. You're a trustworthy guy, so I have no doubt you have that here. But it was funny, man. I've kept this in my drawer, man. Forever. And I was like, man, I'm going to pull this out.
Oh, dude, I got to find yours. It's in here somewhere.
I believe you.
I got it. But I love that. So, yes, you completely reminded me of the Tom Ferry event. So, for those people watching and listening, Kyle and I were at a Tom Ferry seminar. It's here in LA by the LAX airport, right?
Yep.
And halfway through the event, correct me if I'm wrong, Kyle. Halfway through the event, the MC came on stage and was like, hey, guys, don't know if you've heard the news, but everything is shutting down and we have to close the workshop and conference early. And everybody cut out. Like it was the end of the world stuff. And I remember it was raining so hard. You, and I, we got in the Uber and we had time to kill. So remember, we got lunch at a Brazilian barbecue place.
Yep, I remember. Yes.
To this office right here, and we had a little powwow talking about what we're going to talk about today: the differences between St. Louis real estate and Los Angeles real estate. Here we are.
There's a lot of differences for sure.
Yeah, man. Well, dude, I love sharing these memories with you, man. I hope that you and the family and the kids are doing well. I know that you are. I see you on social media. And people who don't know yet, Kyle, drop your social media handle right here.
Which is at Kyle Hannegan. Keep it simple. So Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn don't have a big presence on there, but obviously Facebook and Instagram are the two best spots to catch us. So yeah.
Good stuff, man. Well, listen, let's talk a little bit about the Lou. STL.
Yes.
It's funny when I got you on and we started confirming all this stuff. My assistant Tracy put Nelly on here in the office.
It can't go, dude. It never goes out of style, doesn't Nelly, man? It just keeps it bangs as hard today as it did, 25 years ago. So
it knocks, man. I love that. So you're born and raised in St. Louis. Tell us a little bit about who you are, your background, and where you are right now in real estate.
Yeah, so obviously I'm Kyle Hannegan, born and raised in St. Charles, Missouri, which is about 25 minutes outside of the city of St. Louis. So we're right there. Yeah, so, just kind of my family's background, we had my dad was in banking. He was a financial advisor by trade. My grandpa was an attorney and developer. So like real estate, they also did some construction as well. So every aspect of real estate, from the banking to the construction has kind of always been in the Hannigan family DNA. It's in my DNA. And I was really the first one to go out and do the traditional residential real estate that you see me doing today. And kind of naively, 14-ish years ago, I decided I want to go out and do that. Again, extremely naive. I was very fortunate to kind of hit the ground running. I'll do very well my first year. I think we did, or I did. I can't read 27 or 32. It's somewhere between their deals my first year, and it was a lot, man. Just kind of learning by fire, if you will, doing your own transactions, running around. It was a lot, so I quickly developed a team, and yeah, so the Kyle Hannigan Group was established about 10 years ago. So we're a small but mighty team of four. So we have myself, obviously, Dana, who's actually sitting behind me somewhere. I can hear her ruffling around some papers. She's been with me the longest, actually, going on, right at 10 years. Brittany, our wonderful TC transaction coordinator and assistant, she's been with us for 8 years. And then Megan, the newest addition, she's an absolute rock star, go-getter. She's been with us a little over 2 years now. Just great people. We do about a little over 100 transactions a year for about a little over 40 million on average. So our average sales price is right around that 475-ish mark. But no, we love what we do. We have great referral sources, great partners around the country. And so, yeah, that's kind of the little 2-minute version of who I am and where we're at today.
I love that, man. So anybody listening in, if somebody's looking around in and around St. Louis, at Kyle Hannegan right here.
Yes.
Add him,
Gotcha.
Reach out, and he'll take care of you, certainly, okay? Now, let's talk about the city of St. Louis, okay?
Yes.
I've actually never been to St. Louis.
I was going to ask. I was like, I don't know if you've been here or not. Okay.
No, man, I've never been. I've been to 28 countries all over the U.S., but I've never been to Missouri. Not even set foot in Missouri, let alone, St. Louis. But I do know you guys have your amazing Gateway Arch.
Yes.
Right? What is the city really known for? What is your guys' industry there?
Man,
what's happening in St. Louis?
So St. Louis, I would say the biggest thing obviously is Anheuser-Busch, right? Everyone knows Bud Light, all that, founded here in St. Louis. So, they have a huge footprint here in the Soulard neighborhood in South City. Great spot to come if you ever come to St. Louis. The tour's worth it, the world famous Clydesdales and all of that, but we're home of Budweiser. St. Louis, believe it or not, is actually very well known for their food. Now, the food's different. So we have our toast raviolis, the gooey butter cake. See you, Dana. Dana's actually from Chicago, so you can stop me at any time. Well, before you do, our St. Louis style pizza too.
Wait, so let's talk about toasted ravioli.
Yes.
This is the second time I've heard this. I think Julie Collin told me about toasted
probably,
ravioli.
Yeah. See, there you go.
And I'm like, what? Explain to me what the hype is about toasted raviolis. Because maybe I get somebody to relocate to St. Louis.
See, and there you go. But so I can't give you I can't pinpoint the exact timeline of when this was established or how it was, but I believe it was on the Hill. So we have a big Italian area that's known as the Hill in South City as well. And I believe it was created there. But if you go to Denver, I think they have fried ravioli now. So it's virtually a fried ravioli stuffed with meat. But you know what? A mutual buddy that we have, Phil MacArthur, remember from Boston?
I love Phil.
He actually flew out here because we traded when the Blues and the Bruins were in the Stanley Cup back in 2019. He flew me out there for a game. I flew him out here for a game. It was kind of fun, but he got to experience a lot of the St. Louis style food. He's like, what the hell is going on here, man? But he loved it. And one of the things is the St. Louis style pizza, thin as a cracker. We have Provel cheese. A lot of just different, very unique St. Louis stuff. And a lot of people haven't heard of it. Pork steaks was another one. I don't know what it is. So it's not we're known locally for our food, but outside of Missouri, really, a lot of people have no idea what the hell we're talking about. But I promise you it's great. You know what? I'm going to send you a care package. I got you. I got your. I'm gonna send you a little something.
You heard it right here. Toasted ravioli, St. Louis
Yep.
style pizza. Tracy and I are gonna, grub that up, dude.
Yeah,
Thank
but
you. That's great.
but I mean, but other than that, when back in the day, obviously we were a big hub. Our airport was one of the biggest in the country. As terms of how many flights were going out back in like the '90s when TWA was here. That's all changed now. It's getting a big makeover. So I think they're trying to bring you know have the middle of the U.S. We're literally smack dab in the middle of the United States, so it's a great hub for people. But doing a big renovation on that. But I mean, St. Louis. I mean, I would just say the people too, man. I mean, there's truly a thing about the Midwest nice. I mean, people are just nice here, man. When people
Yeah.
come here, we're a little bit slower, kind of like the South, a little bit slower, a lot of manners, just good people.
Yeah, I've heard that, and I've experienced too the Midwestern, not just Southern hospitality, Midwestern
Yeah,
hospitality is something as well. It's a cultural thing, and I
it
love it.
is.
I appreciate it. So you did
Yeah,
talk a little bit about your price point already in St. Louis, right? Budweiser, you got sports teams, you got big hub, the gateway to the West, right? That's what it's called.
exactly right.
A
Yeah,
lot of people there. You mentioned your price point in St. Louis for a
uh
single
huh.
family residence is about 475,000, right?
Yeah.
What about for a condo? What is a condo? Just off the top of your head, what do you think it might run at? A good top
So
tier
I mean, a condo.
condo.
So if depending where you're at, I mean, a condo. If you're talking more, we don't have like a lot of high rise buildings. Like you might find in downtown Los Angeles, Chicago, Boston, those types of markets like that. But I mean, your stereotypical run of the mill condo, I'd say you can get a great one for 250 to 300, depending
Okay.
where you're kind of at. Probably a
Yeah.
2 bed, 3 bath, 2 bed, 2 bath.
Now, for our investors out there, what is that
Mm.
$475,000 house rent for? And what is that $300,000 condo rent for?
So the condos you're probably looking at probably around $2,200 to $2,300, depending on the association, depending where at. But I mean, if you were to buy we'll just round down a little bit, a $450,000 house, you're probably looking at like a $2,700 a month,
Okay.
I'd say, maybe three. That might be pushing it, but probably so. For the people that don't live here in St. Louis, I mean, the majority of the investors, because we are a hotbed for investors due to our price point, a
Right.
lot of the investors are buying, sub three, because you can
Okay.
find a lot of sub $300,000 houses, areas of the north part of the county, parts of St. Charles County, even down south, where you can get a great return.
Okay. Yeah, that's good to know because,
Hmm.
we have a lot of people here in California looking out of
Oh
state
yeah,
to invest because here our average price point for a single family house, I'm talking 2 bedrooms, one
can I
bathroom.
guess? Can I guess?
Guess, bro. Drum roll. Guess.
Average sales price California, and we're just talking in California, or are we talking like Los
Los
Angeles?
Angeles.
Los Angeles. I'm actually gonna go lower than I initially thought. 575, 600.
Oh, bro, I wish. I wish. Almost double that.
Is it
900,
1.2? Okay.
$942,610
For
is our
some reason, I
average.
wanted to say like seven something, but I was like, it might be lower.
Maybe back in 2015, seven
That's where I'm
something.
living. Yeah, that's what I'm. That makes
So,
sense, though. That makes
yeah,
sense.
$942,610
Wow.
as of January 2026, according to California
Incredible.
Association of Realtors. And I don't memorize these stats. I literally just did a talk on our
Uh huh.
association last week, so that's why
Oh,
that's
nice. That's
built in
fresh in
my
your
head.
mind. No,
Yeah,
it makes
fresh.
sense. More. Yeah, it makes
Yeah,
sense.
yeah. So that's kind of what's happening over here in Los Angeles. You guys, average price point for a single family, 475. You can probably rent it out for 27,000 a month, depending on the property. But there's also sub 300 properties for investors. So if you're thinking about investing out of state, maybe
Hmm.
you take a look at the St. Louis area, and Kyle will be the one to help you out. So what are the current market trends happening in your guys' industry over there? Are we getting some good appreciation? Are things
Hmm.
are we having a decline this year? What's happening?
So the appreciation is actually great in this St. Louis area, just again due to the affordability. So I mean, we have first-time home buyers, looking anywhere from 250 all the way up to maybe about a half million, depending because so many people have delayed their first house. But I would say the average first-time home buyer is probably looking at 350 range. Big trend or new construction. There's a lot of people going the new construction route. I mean, that's the last 2 years and even into this year's record-breaking years for us doing new construction. We just had two close already this year from last year, and we have, I believe, four under contract already just this year. So that's going to be closing later. Yeah, but appreciation's stalled out a little bit. Well, obviously we're not getting that 5-7% like we were in 2020 through 2024, but I mean, we're seeing about right at 3% appreciation year over year for the last 2 years. Some markets are trending a little bit higher than that. But the nice thing about where we're at is, we never saw that 100% increase, maybe like, like some of these parts of Texas or Denver, Austin, specifically when, a lot of people were moving there, hotbed during COVID, saw prices go up 200-300x or whatever. We've always remained pretty consistent, which is
Okay.
great.
Yeah, that's good, man. I know friends who moved out to Austin, Texas from Los Angeles. They thought they were going to get a steal of a deal. 4 years later, they're like, we want to come back to LA, but we're priced out,
No, I'm sure.
I get it. Affordability is something to be concerned about, especially when you have a family and you want to, establish a life, there. So it makes sense. Now, let's talk about people relocating to St. Louis. I deal with a lot of relocation. I know you do as well. Now, if you had to make a pitch to somebody who's relocating to St. Louis, right? Their job is saying, hey, you got to be there by May 1st of this year. What do you think are some of the important things they should look out for, like schools, hospitals, recreation venues for families? Any tips on that stuff?
Yeah, so maybe I should have brought this up earlier too when you asked me, but St. Louis is known for, we have one of the best zoos in the country. We're always ranked in the top 2 or 3 zoos in the country, and it's free. It's massive, it's free, and it's incredible. In the city, so I think St. Louis has gotten a bad rap for as far as I can remember, it being a dangerous city, because not to throw our friends in Illinois under the bus, but there is a part that borders St. Louis, Missouri, that maybe isn't the safest. There are parts of St. Louis, just like anywhere, LA, obviously, you have your dodgy places, it is what it is, but the majority of St. Louis is absolutely fantastic. We have some of the best hospitals in the country, especially when it comes to children's hospitals, believe it or not.
Okay.
The traffic is not bad at all. So when someone says, hey, Vic, meet me at, if it's 4 o'clock your time, meet me in, I don't know, Santa Monica. It probably takes you, hour and a half to get there, depending on the time?
Oh, dude, depends on the time, yeah.
So if you needed to go downtown St. Louis to where I'm at right now, which is probably about 20-something miles, it literally, during rush hour traffic, it might take you 40 minutes. 45 minutes at the worst. So the traffic is, I don't want to say non-existent, but it's not bad.
I'll take that.
You'll take it all day, right?
Yeah. 40 minutes to 20 miles. Dude, sometimes I try to leave, I live in downtown LA. I try to go to Hollywood for a show, and it's 6 miles. And sometimes that takes me 45 to 50 minutes to get 6 miles. And, I'm a marathon runner, dude. I could probably do it a little quicker.
You probably could. I have no doubt. I've seen you train, man. I have no doubts. But so that's a beautiful thing. Yeah, we do have some great visit, MasterCards here, Bayer's here. So we do have some big companies here, in terms of, industry. There's a lot of job opportunities here. It's growing, where my office is a little bit out west of St. Louis. From here to Kansas City, I think is going to be one big suburb in the next 20 years. A lot of infrastructure, a lot of companies are investing money in St. Louis. Ease of navigating, you mentioned the schools. The schools are absolutely fantastic. Yeah. They're always ranked some of the top in the country, especially in St. Charles County.
That's great, man. People need, good healthcare. So you guys got Anheuser-Busch, you got Bayer,
MasterCard.
You got MasterCard. There's a lot of things happening in St. Louis. Yeah. But nothing bigger than toasted ravioli, apparently.
Toasted ravioli, though. See, remember that.
Yeah, embedded in my brain. All right, so
ask Phil about the pizza. You got to ask him about the St. Louis style pizza.
I'm waiting for that care package, man. It's going to be Black Ops dropping on top of my roof here, and I'm waiting for it, Kyle.
I might self-deliver it. Any excuse to come see you in LA, man. I love it.
I'm definitely going to see when you come here. Let's talk a little bit about the way we conduct business. Here in Southern California, we are an escrow state. Yep. We use escrow. We don't use attorneys, but a 30-day escrow. Buyers and sellers have about 17 days to remove their contingencies and move forward to close the deal. How is it there in St. Louis? You guys use an escrow? You guys using attorneys? Things like that.
Yeah, so we're very similar to you. We're an escrow state here. Typically our inspection periods are about 10 days with a finance contingency of about 3 weeks, give or take. So we're around that 21-day mark, give or take. But it's very similar to yours. Now I know our contracts are less pages than yours. I've seen yours. How many pages are you guys up to now?
Dude, I remember that. I remember your assistant who came with you. She's
Yeah.
like, "Do you have a contract?" And at the time, our contracts were 24 to 26
Oh my
pages.
gosh. Yep.
Dude, okay, so you guessed how much the prices were here in LA.
Drastically lower. So yeah, let me
I want you to guess how long our basic purchase agreement is with no other addendums.
redeem myself and say 41 pages.
Winner, winner, bro. You're as close as you can be. It's 42 pages.
Ah, damn.
Right
All
there.
right. I'll take that.
Yeah. So 40 plus pages of
Unbelievable.
legal documents that you have to explain to a client to open a deal here in Southern California.
That's
It's
insane.
insane. So, we get sued all the time for nothing.
Oh,
It's the
I
most
can, yeah.
egregious thing.
I get it. Mm-hmm.
Just kind of is what it is, man. But we have to navigate it. That's why we get paid the big bucks. So
Exactly right.
your guys' contract, how long is it over there in St. Louis?
9-page contract. Then there's a few addendums. I would say in total, there's probably about 20 pages worth of stuff. So half of what you have.
I'm moving to St. Louis. I'm gonna get some of that pizza and ravioli.
See, you fit in it. You would like it.
So disclosures, addendums, and the contract, 20 to 30 pages.
Give or take, and now the buyers, buyer's agreement and everything. So maybe 25, give or take. But yeah, still not bad. Still not bad.
Just our contract, the opening contract is, more than yours is. That's not including the disclosures, other things. And I'm not including reports. Let's just talk about, the CAR, California Association of Reports. That's going to take you to about 85 to 90 pages.
Oh
no
my
reports.
Gosh, dude.
It's insane, man. But,
it's part of it, right?
Part of the deal. That's what we signed up for, and we're in it. We're in it to win it. So, got a little bit of information about St. Louis real estate. We got the price points. We got the rental amounts. We got the big employers. We have some cool stuff going on there. Good food. Hopefully they close that gap between Kansas and St. Louis, and you guys are one big suburb. That'd be great for you guys. Similar to I'm getting Dallas and Fort Worth vibes, where they're just all kind of
national. And the thing is, Kansas City is obviously completely separate. I mean, we're 3.5 hours away. I mean, two totally different worlds. Now, same thing, obviously being in the Midwest, but two completely different. So maybe that'll happen one day, but it just feels like that, with that westward expansion here and that eastward expansion down there, I know. So
yeah, well, hopefully you guys have some good growth here. But let me ask you, bro. I go visit St. Louis, and I'm literally there for 24 hours, Kyle.
That's it. Okay.
24. What is the agenda that you're going to set up for me so I can enjoy the site?
Oh, man. All right. So you're getting off a plane in the morning. What are we going to do? All right. We'll go grab some coffee, fuel you up because we're going to have a day. Okay. Maybe we hit the zoo so you can check it out. We can run through there. It's free. It's cool. Take you to St. Charles, probably. See where I grew up. There's a lot of history there. Lewis and Clark, first state capital, all that fun stuff. We got to catch a Birds game. You got to go to Busch Stadium, right? Baseball heaven. That's what they call it. You got to see that. So we'll make sure it's in the summertime. If not, then we'll catch a Blues game because that's always great. I'm definitely going to get you some T-Ravs, some St. Louis style pizza as well. So we're going to have dinner somewhere before or after the game.
What is your favorite restaurant? What would you recommend? A restaurant?
Man. So we have some, we have a local chain here in these restaurants. I mean, they're fantastic. Shout out to the Pietosa family, all the Napolis. The Napoli franchise here is just absolutely fantastic. The main one's in a nice area called Clayton, a very high-end area of St. Louis. They branched off and it's called Napoli.
Napoli. Okay, gotcha.
Napoli. Fantastic. Hands down my favorite. Our Italian food here, like I said earlier, is just fantastic. But you're going to eat well. So we might have to go on a run or something through Forest Park, which is where the zoo's at. But I don't know, man. Maybe if it's a nice day, we'll go to Suar and hang out, grab a drink, and then we'll send you back home.
Okay. Send me back home. One thing that I know. If you
want to stay, then we can hang. Hey, you can stay as long as you want. You know that.
Yeah, I'm going VIP with Kyle to the top of the St. Louis Arch.
I was going to say the Arch, too. You probably have to go see the Arch ground, too. That's a good point. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to go up in it. Haven't done that in a while. I don't know if you're claustrophobic or not, but it's interesting.
I crawled inside a pyramid a few months ago with my dad in Egypt. I think I can do the same.
You got the Arch, you can handle it, then.
Yeah.
You got it.
One thing that you mentioned, you said we're going to go see a Birds game and St. Louis Cardinals, historic franchise.
Yeah.
Mentioned St. Louis, the Blues, historic NHL franchise.
Yeah, for sure.
bro, how do you feel about the
I
Rams
was gonna say, and I know
leaving
you're a
St.
Raiders
Louis?
guy, so you
Yeah,
know what? I don't. I have some buddies that are still diehard Rams fans. Now they both live in Denver now, but obviously it was crushing to the city. You know, I mean, we're a great sports town. You know,
yeah.
we're not like Los Angeles where there's 1,000 things to do every second of the day. You know, so I mean, there's a lot of pride in our sports teams. It wasn't great. I don't think it was a great look for Kroenke, honestly. I get it, business wise. You know, I mean, look at that $3 billion stadium or whatever it was. You know, I mean, I've never been to SoFi. I've heard it's amazing, but it was a bummer, man, for sure. Now, I
Mm,
don't hate the Rams. I still kind of like them, honestly, but now we got the Missouri Chiefs. Yeah, I'm sure you've heard that before too, but that's a kind of historic franchise. It's hard to just jump on that bandwagon too.
yeah.
Like the Chiefs, not a diehard, but I guess you've kind of felt it in a weird way with your Raiders going to Vegas, right? I mean, is that kind of weird, or that's closer than Stanford or Oakland to you,
I
isn't it?
mean,
Just about.
I grew up a Los Angeles Raiders fan. They were here in the
Correct.
early '80s
Uh huh.
when I grew up, and then I went to college in the Bay Area, so I
That's
followed the
right.
Raiders to
Mm-hmm.
Oakland, and then they moved
Yep.
to Vegas, and it's closer than it is Oakland. But
That's what I thought.
I have a bunch of friends who are Rams fans here, and you know what? Let me rephrase that. I have maybe 4 or 5 friends who are Rams fans, but
Uh,
there's a lot of people who are just kind of resistant to anything else. I mean, there's a lot of diehard USC people. There's a lot of Raider fans. There's
sure.
no Charger fans here, bro. There's just none. And then at the Rams games, it's kind of 50-50. But, in Vegas right now, all the visiting teams flying to Vegas, it does not feel like Oakland or it's just completely different,
Really, yeah.
you know. Yeah,
Yep.
see, there we go. Look at the chat right there. Go Rams,
Go Rams. There you go. And I
Yeah.
always wondered that too, because I think because how long has it been now since they came back? Anyway, but I mean, it wasn't super long when I was out there last, and I mean, a whole bunch of, restaurants were decorated for the Rams and what they had a game or
Yeah.
whatever, but it wasn't like that much going on. It didn't seem like there was that.
They
I don't
kind of
know. I
made
mean,
it
there's a
happen.
lot to do in LA, I guess, right?
Yeah,
So, I mean,
there's a
it's
lot to do. If you don't win, we're not going, right?
correct.
And
Yep.
that's kind of the culture here. If you're not a winning team, if you're not Lakers,
Hmm.
Dodgers,
Lakers, Dodgers. It seems like the Kings have a pretty good for the NHL. I mean, it seems like LA
go
kind of likes
Kings,
their
go.
hockeys. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love that.
Hey.
Well, listen, dude, I want to thank you so much for spending this half an hour with me talking about St. Louis real estate. I definitely like the idea that you and Phil put together. The Kings and the Blues get together and face each other.
Hey,
I'd
let's
love
do
to start
that.
coming in, you know?
Hey, a little playoff action, a little Western Conference. I like that.
I like that, man. It'd be fun. It'd be good to see you in person. Okay, maybe get some fresh toasted ravioli right out the plane. But for those
See,
of
there
you
you
guys
go.
watching, if you are interested in St. Louis area real estate, this guy right here, Kyle Hannegan, 14 years plus in the business, over 100 transactions a year. This guy knows what he's doing, and I'm so grateful to call him my friend. And thank you for joining us today, Kyle. I appreciate
Hey,
it so
thank
much.
you, man. Hey, you've always been a mentor to me ever since I got in the business. No one does it better than you, man. So I appreciate you watching you and all that fun stuff, man. And thanks for the opportunity today.
Yeah, brother. Hey, you go out there, be great. I'll chat with you soon, okay?
Hey, brother. All right, man. Have a good one, okay?
Later, Kyle. Take
Thanks
care.
again. See ya.
Bye, everybody.